All right.
Cool.
Run me through. What's the plan?
Yeah, so this is the car that you could get high from 10 feet away. I bought this from like a guy that would just hotbox out of this car every day as it sat broken down in front of his apartment for $1,500. And we loaded it on the trailer with Mike pointed that out. It's like you could stick your hand between that. We think that he hit something here and it just pulled it up. Whatever, who cares? So $1,500. Like the motor was idling weird. I think I've addressed that. I've replaced almost every single hose in existence. But the idea is just buying a bunch of Temu parts and, beating them until they break, and like seeing if putting all your motor parts like water pumps and thermostats and pretty much everything in Temu actually is worth it or not. Suspension, hydro brakes, like all of this you can get on Temu actually. Yeah, it has to go all the way off and then all the way up. Okay, I'm ready. Alright, stop. I'm full starter fluid now.
You're full of starter fluid.
Yeah.
That went everywhere.
Yeah. I don't even think it got in there. With mine.
Don't do shit just because you're supposed to. And I'm not saying break all the rules just cause. That's the same fucking thing. But don't do shit just because you think you're supposed to do that thing. That is 100% of the time how you're going to end up not appreciating what you're doing, not having any original thought, and feeling like an imposter. Don't do shit just because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Just because someone told you that's what you're supposed to do. Understand that when some fucking adult or elder says, oh, teenagers think they know everything. God damn it. Not necessarily. Some teenagers, sure. Some fucking adults think they know everything. And I'm sorry, there is world hunger. Shut the fuck up. So, all in all, take advice, be humble, but also realize not all advice is great, not all advice is created equal, and objectively, as things change, as environments change, so do the solutions and answers.
This used to be what I call door wars. There used to be a door that swung in here. There were two doors here. This door to the closet swung on top of that, and then the
we
door
have
to
the
this
same
bathroom,
thing with our house. It's terrible.
went this way. So you couldn't move in this area. How two people could get dressed, I have no idea. So one of my favorite things is to make sure that they're you can change them. So these can come out, and you could choose to put in rods to hang things, or maybe if you wanted to make it into a little tiny cedar closet. And nobody ever said, I want fewer drawers.
Yeah.
Everybody wants drawers and lots of them.
70s in here.
This is the den, and we were thinking this is where your kiddos would hang out.
Absolutely.
And, this is the original paneling. We just kind of refreshed it. And this used to be the outside wall, and we added another bedroom and bathroom. And then I reused the paneling so that we could run the AC ducts to the new part of the house. So the house went
That's what this is up here?
Yes, that's what this is right here. It's for the AC. So it works. And then these are all Venetian plaster walls. So it wouldn't get too dark in here.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the combo. You got to have a lit paperweight. And I always like to have things around because a lot of times families are coming here with children, and this gives them things to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
They're not expensive. They're just fun.
But in essence, we have one time pool. And what we're doing right now is spreading ourselves too thin and spending our time as if we have a time credit card. Time credit card is money because you can trade money for other people's time, and that's time debt. But we don't have extra money. We have time pool, and it converts to money really well, but we don't have money savings over here to be able to get a time loan with. And what we need to do right now is replenish our money savings, get back to having more liquid, more operational funds, having all of our credit open up. When we have that, if we need to dip into time credit, we can use that cash over here. And we have currently spent and budgeted all of our allocated time. We've probably over allocated because that's what I do.
Our schedule is always fucking maxed out. But it's not like we can't change things on that time budget.
So an important thing when you're starting a new business or adding someone to an existing business, regardless, is extreme clarity on what's going on between everyone. If there's strengths or weaknesses, everyone should understand what they are and how to move forwards with them or without them. If you find yourself in a situation where every meeting happens but nothing's getting done in them, find a way to cut the extra noise out. Find a way to remove the pointless parts of the meeting. There's a little acronym you can use, SMART. So get really specific. What exactly are you going to do and get accomplished? Yeah, get to the point of, oh, we're gonna get new clients. No, we're gonna have clients who look this way and they're so pleased about this that they end up getting a Murcielago, whatever it is. Get really specific. Next up would be measure or metric, whatever is easier to remember. How are you going to measure your success? Does it look like, hey, I now have 10,000 followers? Does it look like, hey, I'm happy now, and when I go home, I have energy? What's the measurement of your success here? Not a vague, oh, I'm winning, but an exact measurable thing. Again, a level of clarity that a 5-year-old on the subway can understand what you're going for. If you're busy hopping on the bandwagon about AI slop this, all garbage, crypto's a scam, if you're on that bandwagon, it's not that you're wrong, but it's that you have no clue what you're missing. And it doesn't have to be a conspiracy, but at the same time, there absolutely is a really good use case for these technologies. I just don't think that use case is going to be shitty images of monkeys and AI generated versions of you that looks like Disney or Pixar. It's non-fungible token. And basically it's a digital asset that says you get this if this, or this ownership belongs to this person, blah blah blah. Tying it to an image of a monkey is ridiculous, but technically a thing you could do. If you really wanted to, you could go to an escrow company or a title company and say, hey, this is my picture of a monkey, and it's the same thing. But with NFTs, you can do a lot more. You could be a home cleaner, you could be a service technician, you could install fences, and you could have your contract as an NFT. Again, not a picture of a monkey. You're just gonna have to get that out of your head. It's a bad use case. You don't have to agree with them, but you should be like Afro Man. Stick to your guns, say what you need to say with your chest, with your outside voice, and then take advantage of whatever's going on. Like, a lot of people have this tendency of, bad press. Even if you've heard the term, all press is good press, I don't necessarily think that's true. But I do believe all press can be good press, or at least beneficial. In his case, right now he's blowing up all over the internet because he used some free speech on some cops who busted in and did plenty of stuff that's questionable. I promise you right now, because he's all over the nation, there's plenty of people wanting to sport that fit. So if you are a clothing designer, or you drop ship, or you have some way to sell that product, I'm sure right now somebody has a TikTok shop and they're selling American jumpsuits or 3-piece American flag vests, and they're having their biggest week, their biggest month, probably their biggest year right now because of that. So anytime you see something, some sort of news, there's no reason not to hop on it. Are you sleepy? I'm not sleepy now.
We're on the airplane.
We're on the ground.
But on the plane.
No one can hear you, Cal. I don't know if you can see her in the red over there, the huge white bag. I was just asking if she knew where I could get chapstick, because she was in a store looking at like perfumes and stuff, and I just got hit with, I have a boyfriend, and I went, oh, that's too bad. I have a wife. Hope you do better. And she just kind of ran away.